Assalamu alaikum, ladies and gentlemen, and a very good evening. Welcome to yet another episode of CxO Rendezvous on CxO TV by CxO Global Forum. CxO Global Forum, as you now know, is a knowledge sharing platform for C level and mid tier executives, startups, and corporates. Today, we have the pleasure of our esteemed guest, who is the CEO of Computing Solutions Private Limited, one of the most enterprising entrepreneurs that I have seen, Mr. Arsalan Ijaz. Arsalan, Assalamu alaikum, welcome and good evening.
Walaikum assalam, Shazad. Thank you so much.
How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Thank you for having me in your show today.
Great, it is our pleasure. So we'll get into the business of the show. Uh, Tell me, who is Arsalan Ijaz? Something that is not on your LinkedIn profile, Facebook profile. कभी आपने लम्स के बाद रेज्यूमे बनाया होगा, उसमें भी ना हो. Tell me something which is not on your profile. Who is Arsalan Ijaz?
शहजाद बड़ा मुश्किल सवाल पूछ लिया यार आपने. आई थिंक मुझसे ज्यादा बेहतर जो लोग मुझे जानते हैं, मेरे साथ काम करते हैं, मेरी टीम, मेरे क्लाइंट्स इस सवाल का बेहतर जवाब दे सकते हैं. लेकिन आई सी माई सेल्फ as a very ordinary student of a field called management information
Arsalan,
systems.
you'll have to be a bit louder for our viewers.
Okay, is it better now?
Oh, yes, perfect.
Okay, good. So, yeah, I consider myself as a very ordinary student of a field called Management Information Systems. And it is my wish to be a practitioner uh, by way of trying to add value into the businesses of my customers, my clients, which would in turn add value to the Pakistani IT industry. And थोड़ी सी मेरी कोशिश ये भी होती है that the young people, the young graduates and my team members who work with me, we are able to teach them the ways and the skills that are able to add value to their own lives. I think that's what I am.
So you are in the business. So Arsalan Ijaz is in the business of value creation and value addition.
You can say that.
Be it in the business system, be it in the human capital, be it in any facet of life, you are in the business of value addition and value creation. Am I correct?
That's what I yearn to be. Yes.
All right, perfect. मेरे ख्याल में आपको कोई तार वार हिलाना पड़ेगा. आवाज आपकी जो है वो कम आ रही. अरे तार 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 आपको हिलाना पड़ेगा. तार क्या है? What is तार?
So Tar is the name of my company, and this is the very
And
Urdu word.
Arsalan, you have to be louder. थोड़ी energy लाएं. I understand you have worked the entire day. It's 7 in the evening, but let's have some energy.
Is it better now?
Still a little louder, please.
Is it better now?
Oh, wow.
Okay, good. यानी कि थोड़ी जान डालनी पड़ेगी इसमें.
हाँ, तार डालनी पड़ेगी. वो चार्जिंग वाली तार लगाएं. So what is तार?
Tar is our brand name. It is the name of our company, the group. Tar is very much the Urdu word tar. और मैंने जब ये कंपनी बनाई थी तो I was in England at that time, and I wanted the name to link back to our roots, which is why I chose an Urdu word. And if you, the spirit behind tar is that tar symbolizes all forms of communication, all forms of connectivity, all forms of synergy.
Brilliant.
And I think that's what we do. That's what IT is about. That's how we connect. That's how. इसलिए तार मुझे एक अच्छा मीनिंगफुल नाम लगा था इस company.
So तार is about connectivity. वो कहते हैं ना कि दिलों के तार जोड़ते थे. तो आप
जी
जो है
बिल्कुल
वो
बिल्कुल.
आईटी के दिलों के तार पता नहीं जोड़ते या नहीं जोड़ते, लेकिन आप जो हैं वो कनेक्टिविटी का काम करते हैं और लोगों की सॉल्यूशंस प्रोवाइड करते हैं.
Yes.
And I think that is the tar that is used. So you're not wireless, you have a tar. That's interesting. And
Yes.
the tar
In the
is the
wireless world,
connectivity.
we are the tar.
Yes, you are the tar. And if you, and they always say that the tar is very very important, because wireless में तो आपको पता है ना बहुत सारे मसले होते हैं. अगर वायरलेस माइक
Yes.
यूज कर रहे हो तो आवाज नहीं आती है. तार वाला
बिल्कुल
माइक यूज करें तो वो काम पक्का होता है. So you are in sustainable and connectivity and providing solutions. When I was researching about your company, I got to know that you have a product which is very amazing, and that product is called Retail Pro. So, what is Retail Pro all about? For the education of our viewers, people watching the show, people who will watch the show later on, in simple terms and a little bit in technical terms for both kinds of audiences, what is Retail Pro and how is it helping the retail sector?
All right. Acha, Retail Pro is a retail management software produced by an American company called Retail Pro International. Um, in simple words, it is just another point of sale software, but in more specialized terms, it is one of the world's best retail management systems. हम अपने
So, the
internal
first
use
point
में
was being humble, and the second point was the truth.
let's put it that way. हम अपनी इंटरनल गुफ्तगू में इसको we call it the Toyota Corolla of the retail world.
Wow.
It is robust, it does the job well, it is not very expensive, and it makes sure that it adds value to your retail business, right? And which is why इस वक्त दुनिया में तकरीबन 250,000 points of sale are powered by Retail Pro.
Mhm.
In short, that's what it is. टेक्निकल भी आपने चूंकि पूछा तो why would a business want Retail Pro या what is the USP behind Retail Pro? So when we implement Retail Pro, yeah, when we suggest or propose Retail Pro to any retailer, this is what we look at. We say, okay, is there any problem that it can solve for you? One, can it help you increase your profits? Two, number three, can it help you uh, improve your controls? अब ये तीनों तरह generic terms हैं, but
ठीक
and we
है.
can go on for hours on this, but just to sum it up, uh, um, this is how it looks at retail. And because it is a specialized software for retail, I mean, since the 1980s, जब से Retail Pro पैदा हुआ था, it has just done retail. So it is what we call best of breed software. It is not a generic ERP. It is not a generic sales solution. It's a very specific point of sale. So it goes all the way into the depth of retail. And अगर कोई specialized retailers मुझे सुन रहे हैं, so they would agree with me that when you are actually talking about the depth of any business, be it retail or any other business, uh, the software must speak your language. The software must already know your problems. The
Yes.
software must already have come from experiences of those who are older and than your business and should have evolved accordingly. And that only happens with specialized software. And we see specialized software in so many industries. It's not just retail. आप और कोई भी इंडस्ट्री स्पेशलाइज ले लें तो उसमें आपको स्पेशलाइज सॉफ्टवेयर सिस्टम्स मिलेंगे. तो रिटेल इंडस्ट्री का एक बहुत अच्छा ग्लोबल नाम जो है वो दैट इज रिटेल.
Okay, so for my understanding and for the people who are watching and for probably people involved in retail, this is an end-to-end solution. So starting from production to inventory to stock to warehousing to the outlets, right up to the POS machine where the actual sale is made. Does this cover everything?
No, let me correct you a little bit. So when we talk of retail management, Retail Pro starts at the finished goods warehouse
Okay.
and goes all the way down to the customer. This is the scope of Retail Pro. Acha, in doing so, because it is a modular platform, so in doing so, it gives you the ability to one add on stuff to make your own workflows and then to connect to your backend ERP. सो आपकी फाइनेंशियल अकाउंटिंग, आपकी एचआर, आपकी और चीजें सप्लाई चेन वगैरह वो आपकी ईआरपी में हो रही होंगी. लेकिन वेयर हाउस के अंदर इन्वेंट्री मैनेजमेंट, आपके स्टोर के ट्रांसफर्स, आपकी रिप्लेनिशमेंट व्हिच इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर रिटेलर्स, एंड देन योर पॉइंट ऑफ सेल, your promotions, your discount, your loyalty, your CRM, your customer interaction, your customer database, all of that falls under retail. So
And this can be integrated with an independent CRM and with an
yes, yes,
independent
yes.
ERP.
Yes, in fact, let me tell you that दुनिया में there are hundreds of integrations where Retail Pro runs along with Dynamics CRM. Retail Pro runs with SAP ERP, with Oracle EBS ERP, with Sage, with Tally, with so many other local solutions. Even Pakistan में भी we are running integrations with many different global ERPs as well as local solutions. तो इसमें होता क्या है, आपने एंड टू एंड सोल्यूशन की बात की, होता क्या है कि एंड टू एंड सोल्यूशन में समटाइम्स पीपल people might think कि एक end-to-end solution मेरे लिए सब कुछ कर लेगा, but there's
मैं भी
another
यही
angle
समझा
to
था
it.
ना कि ये सब कुछ कर देगा और सारे
हाँ,
मसले हल कर देगा.
exactly. आप जब बीमार होते हैं और आपको अगर दिल की बीमारी है तो आप जीपी से पहले कार्डियोलॉजिस्ट के पास जाएंगे, ऐसे ही है सर,
बिल्कुल.
right? So you are a body. Similarly, a business is a set of functions, right? Just like your body, and each function has its own specialized needs. So very financial accounting की needs could be very specialized and different depending upon the fact कि मैं कोई importer हूँ, आगे मैं retail कर रहा हूँ, लेकिन back end पे क्या मैं importer हूँ, क्या मैं manufacturer हूँ, क्या मैं trader हूँ. So मेरी फाइनेंशियल अकाउंटिंग की, मेरी बजटिंग की नीड्स बहुत बहुत फर्क होंगी, एंड हेंस आई वुड वांट टू go for a solution which is an expert of that area, which gives me specialization. So, and on the front end, on the retail side, on the point of sale and retail management side, I would want to go with the specialist. तो हम जब best of breed systems की बात करते हैं, so we say that integrations are now very easy. They're all API based. Platforms like Retail Pro are modular. They have APIs for almost everything. So you put them together to build an end-to-end solution, right?
Okay. Okay.
Just like अभी हम जो बात कर रहे हैं, so we are using StreamYard, right? But we are using I'm using a Lenovo laptop on this side, and you're using probably another laptop on the other side. So the end-to-end solution is built out of StreamYard. Doesn't produce hardware, right? So it is the best of breed combination which creates a better combination, a better result. And that's what software is about in this world.
Okay, Arsalan, my next question is, the buzzword today is e-commerce. Okay? And everybody talks about e-commerce and fintech and integration with e-commerce. I want to ask you about unified commerce. What
That's
is
very good.
happening in the world of unified commerce? How many people are talking about it? And for an average person who is not tech savvy watching this show, थोड़ा सा आप समझाएंगे what is unified commerce?
मैं आपको एक एग्जांपल से समझाता हूँ. When I was just अभी कभी मैं आपसे कनेक्ट करने के लिए मैं am connected to my Wi-Fi, right?
ठीक है.
But मैंने कहा यार ये Wi-Fi अक्सर तंग भी करता है, so I should have an alternate medium, right?
ठीक है.
And I have a Telenor SIM and I have a Jazz SIM. So I opened up my Jazz World app, and I tried to activate a package, and it said you didn't have enough balance. So I opened up my Jazz Cash app, और वहां से मैंने बैलेंस ट्रांसफर कर दिया मेरे अपने जैज वाले सिम में. ठीक, मेरा इंटरनेट एक्टिवेट हो गया, मुझे एक सर्विस मिल गई, मुझे एक बंडल मिल गया. In simple words, this was unified commerce. I
Wow.
could use any
What a
medium.
beautiful way to explain it.
Thank you. I could use any
Okay,
medium.
now after this analogy, I would want to understand how Retail Pro is a unified commerce for the retail sector.
Right, ठीक है. जब आप एक लेट्स इमेजिन एनी रिटेलर, आपका फेवरेट रिटेलर कौन सा? आप कहाँ से
आपने
कपड़े
मेरे ख्याल में
खरीदते
आज
हैं?
के शो के हिसाब से काफी सारे ब्रांड नेम्स ले लिए, but probably okay, I'll talk about, let's say, one. I like one, the casuals that one has.
हाँ ठीक है, ओके. सो वन इज अ फैशन ब्रांड, ठीक है.
जी.
एंड आपको वन का एसएमएस आया,
ठीक है.
तो एसएमएस कहाँ से आया आपको? वन के पास जो सीआरएम सिस्टम है, डेटाबेस
बिल्कुल.
है, उन्होंने देखा
बिल्कुल.
ये शहजाद साहब हमारे पास आते हैं, इन्होंने हमसे, सो ये उन्होंने एक चैनल ऑफ कम्युनिकेशन बन गया आपका वन के साथ.
बिल्कुल ठीक है.
तो उन्होंने आपको एसएमएस भेज दिया, उसमें कहा शहजाद साहब थैंक यू फॉर योर परचेज, देयर इज अ 5% ऑफ वाउचर फॉर योर नेक्स्ट परचेज.
सही है.
ठीक है जी. आपने उस पे लिंक पे क्लिक किया और उनकी वेबसाइट खुल गई.
सही है.
सही है. आपने वहां अपना नंबर डाला, लॉगिन किया, and now you're doing a different medium. You've come out of SMS, you've gone into probably an app or a mobile responsive website,
ठीक
and
है.
now you're browsing. अब आप ब्राउज कर रहे हैं और आपने देखा कि यार ये मुझे पसंद है, ये मुझे पसंद है, ये मुझे पसंद है. अब यार मुझे फिटिंग भी करनी है, ये तो ऐसे ना हो कि मैं ऑर्डर ऑनलाइन कर दूं और फिर वो फिटिंग ना हो मेरी. तो चलो I'll go into their store, right? And when you go into their store, they say शहजाद साहब आप अपना नंबर बताएंगे प्लीज. आपने अपना फोन नंबर बताया, लोग बोलने का सर आपने अपने शॉपिंग कार्ट में ये आइटम्स डाली थी कल, क्या आप ये देखना चाहते हैं? आपके हाँ यार मैंने ये 3 इसलिए डाली थी अपनी शॉपिंग कार्ट में, अपनी विश लिस्ट में. because I want to see them. अब वो ये जो आइटम्स थी ये कहाँ से आ रही थी? ये आपके इन्वेंट्री मैनेजमेंट सिस्टम से आ रही थी। आपने किस स्टोर पे जाके देखना है जहाँ वो अवेलेबल है। ये भी आपको इंडिकेशन रिटेल सिस्टम ने दी कि ये मेरे पास इतनी इन्वेंट्री यहाँ अवेलेबल है, राइट?
बिल्कुल।
So if a brand like One were using Retail Pro, they would be able to facilitate this entire journey for the customer. आप वहां गए, आपको पसंद आ गया, आपने साइज ले लिया, आपने कहा पे कर दिया, आपने चीज ले ली, आपकी ट्रांजैक्शन खत्म हो गई।
बिल्कुल
उसके
सही।
बाद आपको व्हाट्सएप के ऊपर एक मैसेज आया और उसमें लिखा था थैंक यू एंड वुड यू प्लीज क्लिक हियर टू रेट अस। आपने क्लिक किया और वो 5 स्माइलीज आ गई और आपने उनको आई एम अ हैप्पी कस्टमर पे क्लिक करके उनको रेट कर दिया, ठीक है? और यू कुड हैव सेड कि यार मैं अभी बिजी हूँ, why don't you ship it, I'll pay right now but please you know I'm running into a meeting, I can't carry this bag with me, आप ये मुझे मेरे घर शिप करवा दें। सो उन्होंने आपसे पेमेंट वहां ले ली और उधर से उसकी शिपमेंट क्रिएट करके उसको आपके घर शिप करवा दिया। And there are so many variants of this journey that you know we all know about it now. So this is what is unified commerce. And if a brand like One or any other brand or any other retailer were to be using Retail Pro, they would have the foundation to be able to enable this journey for the customer, this unified experience, as well as add on integrations या कह लें communication channels like WhatsApp, like your SMS from whatever provider that you're using, like your Facebook chat. मे बी आपको उसके बाद उस पर आपने लाइक किया कि यार मेरा यहाँ एक्सपीरियंस वो आपकी फेसबुक से चला गया। सो ऑल ऑफ दिस इज व्हाट रिटेल प्रो जैसा सिस्टम वुड इनेबल फॉर यू।
Two things, Arslan. I have about 20 years of marketing experience every now and then, here and there. Uh, this is the first time in my life, and I'm saying this on live, on air, that somebody has managed to explain consumer journey to me in 2 minutes and 30 seconds. So wonderful and
थैंक यू
great,
सो मच,
really,
थैंक यू,
seriously great.
थैंक यू।
The other thing is Retail Pro a unified commerce? Does it have the ability to complete this consumer journey with integrations? Obviously, not on its own, but with integrations.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, brilliant.
I cannot mention brand names live on
I
television,
understand.
but you can go to any of our well-known brands. Just go to their UN number, जो 111 वाला नंबर होता है, आप जाएं उसके
जी
ऊपर
जी.
व्हाट्सएप पे वही नंबर यूज करें। देखिए ये भी बड़े मजे की चीज है कि व्हाट्सएप बिजनेस ने एनेबल कर दिया टू यूज योर लैंडलाइन
You
नंबर।
can use the UN number. Yes.
अब उसी सब कस्टमर्स को पिछले साल तक मल्टीपल नंबर्स याद रखने पड़ते थे और सेव करने पड़ते थे।
Hmm.
अब आप 111 लिखें और उसके आगे नंबर आप वहीं पे कहें हेलो एंड इट विल रिस्पॉन्ड बैक सेइंग हेलो शहजाद सिकंदर बिकॉज़ इट नोज योर नेम नाउ
Yeah.
एंड इट विल से कि प्रेस 1 फॉर दिस प्रेस 2 फॉर दिस। वो पूरा उसके पीछे एक चैटबॉट भी कॉन्फ़िगर होता है जो कि
Wow.
इसको so yes, Retail Pro is a unified commerce. In fact, our slogan from Retail Pro says unified commerce is built on Retail Pro.
Very
Again,
nice.
वही best of breed वाली बात। I'm not saying that Retail Pro is going to become another WhatsApp, but it can talk to WhatsApp and Signal and Telegram and whatnot, and enable that flexibility for you, because everything has to connect back to the inventory and availability.
Great.
और
Like you
आप
said,
ये
you
देखें।
can't. Ji.
जी please go ahead.
I said, like you said, that you can't take brand names, but we would like to know what sectors are you currently operating in. Like we mentioned, one, I know that you're working in the apparel industry, you're working in the garments and fashion. What other sectors are you catering to, and what other sectors are you capable in terms of capacity to cater to in Pakistan?
So yeah, sure. So globally, Retail Pro operates in almost all retail sectors, and it is known as.
Okay.
I mean, the reason of Retail Pro's popularity is specialty retail. So whether it is apparel, or footwear, or denim, or jewelry, or luggage, या home linen, home textile, ये सारे तो obviously apparel के सारे जो सब ये sectors हैं।
सही है.
बहुत
ये
बड़े
सारे हैं.
जितने भी बड़े ब्रांड नेम्स हैं ग्लोबल, दे ऑल रन Retail Pro. पाकिस्तान में भी इसी तरह का कॉम्बिनेशन है। उसके अलावा ग्लोबली it has a very strong pharmacy retail footprint, because pharmacy is
Okay.
also specialized retail. फार्मेसी में आपको पता है कि हर मुल्क में अपनी कुछ रेगुलेशंस होती हैं, राइट? पाकिस्तान में जैसे ड्रैफ्ट के लॉज अप्लाई करते हैं. So Retail Pro, because it has flexibility to configure workflows, so you
Hmm.
can actually implement the local regulations very easily. ठीक है. इसके अलावा फूड में जरा कम हम करते हैं. We don't do restaurants per se, but a lot of cafeterias and bakery chains run Retail Pro globally. Uh, a very large university's entire dining center in Lahore runs Retail Pro. And it's a very interesting case study because at lunch hour, about 2,000 students have to be served in less than 2 hours, in about 2 hours. So और हम जब वो implement कर रहे थे तो हमें जो target दिया गया था, that was a typical a tray having 2 main course and one roti and one raita and one bottle of water and a salad should be, the transaction should finish in 25 seconds, including the printing time.
Hmm. Hmm.
So that
Hmm.
was very interesting, example. And then another area जहाँ पे Retail Pro ने lately बहुत अच्छा footprint establish किया है, especially पाकिस्तान में और Far East में, that is supermarket.
Arslan,
And
we've lost your voice again.
is it? Am I
Yeah,
audible now?
better now.
Okay.
Better now.
So another interesting sector जहाँ पे Retail Pro ने पाकिस्तान में और Far East में बड़ा अच्छा impact create किया है, that is the supermarket sector, hypermarket. And we've recently Pakistan. The honor goes to Pakistan for being chosen to be highlighted as a global case study. So one of our local brands, and I think I can take their name, which is CxO. Uh, it's a brand which has about 10, 11 supermarket stores, large format stores. Uh, Last week, Retail Pro International, a global case study, a video case study, has been published by Retail Pro. And I think that's a huge honor for Pakistan.
Mashallah. Mashallah. Some of our live viewers have certain comments that I will also be sharing with our viewers. Mr. Ehsan Gujjar says that you're a role model and indeed a great mentor for us.
Thank you, Hassan.
Um, and Arslan, then there is another question that we have from Babar Waris. He wants to know that what do you think about local competition like TeleTalk? How do you plan to compete in the local market where the local messenger adoption is very low?
Acha, TeleTalk is not our competitor, of course, because they're in the messenger business. We are in the retail business. Um, so, Babar, आपके सवाल के दो parts हैं. What do you think? How do you plan to compete in the local market where the local messenger adoption is very low? That's very right. बहुत low है. और WhatsApp की outbound messaging भी बहुत expensive है. So many retailers don't want to go with that. But let me tell you, ever since WhatsApp business has come about और ये unified communication का एक cycle चलना शुरू हुआ है, Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, इन सारों की unified messaging को जब हम लेके आते हैं अपने contact center modules के अंदर, तो customers are actually, the speed of adoption is actually rising. मैं ये देख रहा हूँ कि ये adoption आहिस्ता-आहिस्ता बढ़ रही है. So that's good. It's not competition, but if you are talking about otherwise local competition in the point of sale arena, so competition is always good. 10 years ago, somebody gave a very nice example to me, and I'll quote it here. The lady said that Stanford is Stanford because there's a Harvard, and that's very right. ठीक है? So we see local and international competition as something very friendly, something that keeps us on our toes. Local competition is always good. I'm a Pakistani, and I will always say that Pakistani software industry should grow. It is growing, and we have some amazing players who've automated the Pakistani retail market in a manner that no international player would have done that. Hats off to them. And so competition is good. Very simple.
After hearing this, I will say IBA is IBA because there is alums.
Now, you're saying that because you're an IBA graduate and I'm alums
yes,
graduate.
and you're alums
I can say
graduate.
the other way around as well.
Okay.
But that's
another interesting question. Arslan, okay, this is I'm trying to keep it as apolitical as possible, but this is a dilemma that I also face as a marketer, as a person, as a C-level executive, and I'm sure a lot of corporates too. The IT tools that are available, right, starting from AI to big data to the smallest solution, like let's say a simple accounting software, let's say Tally or whatever. But do you think that the IT solutions and tools are actually as good as the people who are handling them in the company?
आप पाकिस्तान की बात करें या जनरल बात
सर,
करें?
अभी तो मैं पाकिस्तान की बात कर रहा हूँ. यू कैन गिव अ ग्लोबल कंपैरिजन इफ यू लाइक.
मैं आपको देता बिल्कुल. थैंक यू फॉर दैट. वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग क्वेश्चन एंड आई थिंक यू स्ट्रक द राइट स्ट्रिंग ऑन मी.
सही तार छेड़ दी मैंने.
सही तार छेड़ दिया, बिल्कुल सही
अच्छा,
तार छेड़
ठीक.
दिया. So Shehzad, a software is only as good as the weakest programmer developing it. This is what we learned when we were learning software engineering. ठीक है. जो weakest link होता है, that determines the strength of the whole system. Pakistan में, unfortunately, you see two kinds of IT people. There are people who just know their software bit, and there's a very thin minority of those people who understand the domain as well, right? So सॉफ्टवेयर ने जिस जगह जाके चलना है, उस डोमेन को जानना बहुत जरूरी, उस इंडस्ट्री को जानना बहुत जरूरी होता है. Unfortunately, not many of our universities teach software that way. But let me tell you, globally क्या होता है. So there is a role in software implementation teams called a business systems analyst, right? In Pakistan, if you were to pick out any large commercial organization, उनसे पूछे आपके पास कितने business systems analyst हैं, तो typically एक दो तीन मिल जाएंगे आपको. ठीक है. You talk to any certain such company in England, and you will see they've got a business software analyst for retail, a business software analyst for accounting, a business systems analyst for supply
So
chain, for each of
specialization,
their work. Yes,
specialization है.
yes, absolutely. अच्छा, ये क्यों जरूरी होता है? ये इसलिए जरूरी होता है, अगर मैं गाड़ी चला रहा हूँ और मुझे ये नहीं पता कि सड़क जहाँ खुरदरी होगी तो वहां कैसे गाड़ी चलानी है, तो मैं कभी अच्छा ड्राइवर नहीं बन सकता, राइट? अगर मुझे टायर रिप्लेस करना नहीं आता, अगर पंचर हो जाए, तो मैं कभी अच्छा ड्राइवर नहीं बन सकता. सिमिलरली सॉफ्टवेयर बनाने वाले जब तक उस डोमेन को नहीं समझेंगे, एंड व्हिच इज व्हाई आई कीप in my entire career I've kept harping on about specialization and domain focus, is because software can never be generic. ठीक.
It has to be customized, and customization means specialization.
No, yes, exactly. Generic systems are there. They do their work well, but when it comes to specialization, you need people who understand the domain. तो इसीलिए यहाँ पे हम थोड़ा सा ERPs में, बिजनेस सिस्टम्स में, एंटरप्राइज सिस्टम्स में जो गैप देखते हैं, लग तो जाता है, बेच के भी चले जाते हैं, लगा भी देते हैं, ठीक है, वो साइन ऑफ भी हो जाता है. एक बड़ा इंटरेस्टिंग, मैं आपको बहुत ही इंटरेस्टिंग एक वाकया बताता हूँ. दिस इज अबाउट 15 years ago. Large textile company, their owner called me over to get my assistance on vetting the contract that their large software provider had given them. It was an implementation of an accounting system, और उसमें clause थी कि जी आपने इसका sign off within 14 days of go live देना है. ठीक है. अब किसी भी इंसान को जो प्रोफेशनल है, जो समझता है कि सिस्टम्स क्या होते हैं, लेट अलोन की इतनी बड़ी कंपनी से वो कॉन्ट्रैक्ट लिखा आ रहा है, यार हाउ कैन यू वेट द इफेक्टिवनेस ऑफ एन अकाउंटिंग सिस्टम जब तक आपका एटलीस्ट एक अकाउंटिंग पीरियड ना चले. यानी आपने 3 महीने नहीं, आप यार 1 महीना तो लिखते हैं ना, 45 दिन तो लिखते हो.
14 दिन में तो मतलब हाँ सही है.
How can you I mean say कि it's okay in 14 days? That's the problem.
नहीं, आई थिंक इस एग्जाम्पल में आपने बहुत सारे सवाल के जवाब दे दिए. बिकॉज आई गॉट टू नो दैट योर सिस्टम इज लाइव, तो हमने कहा कि वी शुड रेप्लिकेट दैट. यू आंसर्ड अ क्वेश्चन एंड दिस इज द लाइव रिस्पॉन्स फ्रॉम बाबर टू योर क्वेश्चन. Well explained, and thank you for the response.
You're welcome, Babar.
There is a lot of interaction going on right now in the live show, which is very interesting, and that tells us that you're the expert of live. when your dash goes live, when your retail pro is live. So I think people get engaged and they benefit out of it. I think enough of professional discussion. When you raised your hand, I saw a beautiful finger. So I'd like to know about your family. Something about your
Very good.
family, which takes me to the question. I have this too. Don't worry. Where is it?
Okay.
Yeri. So, but I want to know, how do you maintain a work-life balance? Because being an entrepreneur and then being a tech entrepreneur, working in retail and working 24/7, and you're still sitting in your beautiful office right now, and it's 7:30, and and I'm sure it's not just for the show. That's your routine. So, how do you manage work-life balance, and something about your family?
So, Shahzad, so about my family, I'm married to Asmara, who's my
सर
wife.
फैमिली की बात है, फिर से जोर से बोले ना, आवाज फिर
Achha,
गायब हो गई.
I'm married to Asmara, who's my wife and a wonderful person. And I have a son who's 7 years old, and he's Armufan. And yes, I don't think I'm able to give enough time to them. But then isn't that the story of every entrepreneur? Uh,
Yes.
I try to do that. But let me be honest, I think all entrepreneurs face this dilemma in life. Uh, Retail में थोड़ा सा ज़्यादा मसला हो जाता है,
Hmm.
because retail never sleeps. ठीक है. My company is a 24/7 365 operation. Not that I have to run it 24/7 365, but yes, in bringing it to this stage, yes, I have had to sacrifice family time. And now, however, I'm in a better state and I'm able to give better time to my family. Today, specifically, I'm only here for the show. I'm not here for my work.
Brilliant. So that's an example of work-life balance. Acha, because you are in the business of connectivity, we as CXO Global Forum are also in the business of connectivity, where we connect corporates and we connect individuals at different level. We connect with startups. तो हम ये करते हैं कि हमारा जो आखिरी सवाल होता है, वो अक्सर ये होता है कि हाउ डू यू फील दैट CXO ग्लोबल फोरम हैज कंट्रीब्यूटेड टू यू एज एन इंडिविजुअल और टू द बिजनेस. अच्छा, बिकॉज वी ऑफर दैट कनेक्टिविटी, तो हम लोगों पे रिसर्च भी करते हैं, or and we try and invest in the members and try and understand their business so that they can be best helped. तो हम आपसे आज ये सवाल नहीं करेंगे, क्योंकि मैंने जब रिसर्च की तो मुझे पता ये लगा कि आप गाना बहुत अच्छा गाते हैं, and you're almost a professional singer, and you do riyaz and you practice music and you have a beautiful voice. So what I would want you to do is sing something for CXO Global Forum and for its members, something that you would like to dedicate to the forum. कुछ दो लाइनें सुनाते हैं आप.
Oh my God, ये तो आपने मुश्किल काम कह दिया यार.
You can take your time, but now you're stuck.
But yes, I can see that that I'm stuck. और मेरा गला आप देख रहे हैं कि साथ नहीं दे रहा आज, लेकिन okay.
सर
Something
ये
for,
हर इंसान जो
हाँ,
डॉज करना चाहता है वो यही कहता है.
वो यही कहता है. No, but I can probably
Meanwhile, while you think, there is another response that he is right. It is hard to maintain a balanced life with family when you are an entrepreneur and supporting the retail industry. So there are more people who think like you, and there is a whole community and fraternity of techpreneurs, especially in the retail industry, and even non-techpreneurs in the retail industry. But you have put it very rightly how you manage the work-life balance.
thank you Sayyed for saying that. Thank you so much. चलें
Ji
जी,
sir, I'm
एक
waiting. Our
छोटा
viewers
सा,
are waiting.
हाँ, एक छोटा सा आपके लिए, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. And this is for the CXO Global Forum and the great work that you guys do.
Thank you. Thank you.
दिया हौसला जिसने जीने का हमको, वो एक खूबसूरत सा एहसास हो तुम, जो मिटता नहीं दिल से, तुम वो यकीन हो, हमेशा जो रहती है वो आस हो तुम, ये
Wow.
सोचा है हमने कि अब जिंदगी भर तुम्हारी मोहब्बत सजदा करेंगे अकेले ना जाना.
नहीं, हम अकेले बिल्कुल भी नहीं जा रहे. थैंक यू वेरी
Let's just,
मच.
if you allow
जी.
me, CXO is doing such a good job. और ये शेर मैंने अभी इसीलिए चुना है कि दिया हौसला जिसने जीने का हमको. I think you're helping a lot of professionals achieve that. And this comes from the heart. This not because I'm on your show. This comes from the heart. मुझे तकरीबन 1.5 साल हुआ है CXO के साथ एसोसिएट हुए हुए. I bet you guys a number of times. The way you are putting in effort in a very sometimes thankless manner, and some but still very in a very spirited manner, you are creating the connection and that stream of fresh air that the industry needs. अच्छा, आपको पता है कि पाकिस्तान में एक बहुत बड़ा प्रॉब्लम है, वो आइसोलेशन का है. People operate in silos, ठीक है. And when people operate in silos, forums like CxO Global are needed to connect them, to bring them out of their silos and get them to work together, because it is only when you work together that you're able to create value which is more powerful, and which is deliverable in a quicker amount of time, lesser amount of time. uh, that's what this world needs. That's what Pakistan needs. We cannot go on fighting with each other. We cannot go on debating against each other. We need to come together and work together. And thank you, CxO Global Forum, for doing that.
Thank you, Arsalan. It was wonderful doing this show with you. Thank you for your time and thank you for the knowledge, because you have actually contributed to the spirit of this organization, which is knowledge sharing. And I'm sure this will benefit not only the retail sector, the techpreneurs, and there's a lot of learning in this content that we have had this chat today. Thank you for the dedication and thank you for your time. And CXO Global Forum is available to all its members, and whenever there is a need for collaboration, when there is a need for expansion, growth, and knowledge sharing. Thank you, Arsalan. Thank you very much. Hope to see you soon again, inshallah. Thank you.
You're most welcome, Shazad. Thank you for having me on the show, and it's all my pleasure talking to you in such a candid manner. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, viewers. Good afternoon.